after George W. Bush becomes president, I was sitting in a morning meeting at the CIA, and the secretary came in and interrupted the morning meeting, and she said, "John, Secretary Powell's on the line for you." And I said, "For me?" I said, "How does General Powell know who I am?" And she said, "I don't know, but he asked for you by name." So I get on the secure line. I said, "Good morning, Secretary Powell. How are you?" And he says, cuts right to the chase. He says, "John, if the Iraqis were going to kill former President Bush, who would be in charge of actually doing that?" And I said, "Well, if you're talking about the 1993 attempt, Kuwait operations were run by Iraqi intelligence services Basra Station. But Basra Station is headed by the head of the service, Sabr Abdulaziz ad-Dori." And Powell says, "Where does he physically sit?" And I said, "In Iraqi intelligence service headquarters in the Green Zone in Baghdad." And he says, "Thank you," and he hangs up the phone. 8 hours later, we fired 49 cruise missiles into Iraqi intelligence service headquarters. We did that at 2 o'clock in the morning. And so we killed a janitor. I said to my boss the next day, "I killed that janitor." And he said, "No, you didn't." He said, "I knew you were going to say that. You didn't. You had no idea why Powell was asking the question. They were going to do whatever it is they were going to do. It wasn't on you." But then, in 2002, when I got back from Pakistan, I was promoted to be the executive assistant to the CIA's deputy director for operations. And on my very first day, I walked in the office and I said, "So, what are we going to do?" And my boss said,